Let's read The Tale of True Dragons. Ready? Okay. The kingdoms of Arbor and Pomosa stood back to back. Each had a castle bristling with guards. Arbor was plush with trees in every shade of green, woods and orchards full of mushrooms, fruit, and birds. Pomosa was rich too, golden with wheat fields, silver lakes, and creamy, milkful cows. A high-tone hedge parted the two territories. Guys, sometimes it's true. The people of Pomosa would look across at the plush forest and say, if only we had trees. It is hard to make wheat flour into loaves without wood to heat the bread ovens. And the children heard them say it. Sometimes the people of Arbor would look across at Pomosa and say, if only we had wheat and rice, we could make into pies and porridge and pancakes. And the children heard them say it. If only the thieving children of Pomosa had not found a way through the hedge and gathered fallen branches and dragged them home for firewood to please their mothers. But they did. If only the thieving children of Arbor had not come creeping at night to cut corn and milk cows and tiptoe home to surprise the grown-ups with sheaves of grain and buckets of milk. But they did. As the thieves became more and more daring, the two kings grew more and more annoyed. Post guards with swords and torches! This stealing must stop! But either the guards were lazy or they looked the other way because, do you know what? Not a single child thief was caught or thrown into a dungeon. The king threw tantrums and shook their fists at one another. A dragon! Find me a dragon! The king of Arbor told his ambassadors. The biggest you can find. The ambassadors took ship for China to seek out a dragon. Chinese dragon. Much to the surprise, one agreed to come in return for a wage of plums, pears, and pine cones. Watched from the battlements of both castles, she stepped out along the Arbor highway, her scales catching the sunlight, the creature of such pure power that the king of Arbor dared not go down to greet her. Guard my country! He shouted down. Kill any Pomosa's thieves! The king of Pomosa sulked and stamped. I want a dragon! I need a dragon to guard my country from that ugly great beast! Ambassadors were sent to China, and much to the surprise, a dragon was found who agreed to come in return for ginger, gooseberries, and goldfish. Watched from the battlements of both castles, he came striding along the Pomosa highway. Fair fool, murmured the men. Huge, whispered the women. But it's so beautiful, they all agreed. Both nations gasped in amazement. They both had dragons. Neither dragon noticed. They were busy eyeing each other. Scales rippling, the colors pulsed in their arches back. Smoke trickled out of nostrils and ears. There was no reading the thoughts behind their glittering eyes. Children hid behind their mothers' skirts. There would be no more thieving of wood or wheat. But bakers still needed wood to heat their ovens, and winter nights are cold without logs for the fire. Woodsmen need bread and porridge, and growing children need milk. From their rooftops, the people watched the dragons patrol. So exquisite, so exotic, so terrifying. As one walked west, the other ambled east, with only a thorn hedge between them. Naturally, each country thought its own dragon was the best. "We must have timber," said the king of Pomosa. "Order my dragon to kill that monster next door." "We must have bread and milk," said the king of Arbor. "Tell my dragon to kill that creature next door." Dragons are noble beasts. Was it their good manners that kept them from refusing to fight? Then the she-dragon reared up on her hind legs. The he-dragon stood tall. No one could tell what they were thinking. They fought. "Stop them!" cried the people of Arbor. "We didn't want this!" Dragon fire blazed. "Stop them!" cried the people of Pomosa. "We never asked for this!" But the dragons fought on, ears torn and snouts bleeding, coughing up black smoke. "Stop them!" But the kings watched with snarling glee. "If mine wins, your kingdom belongs to me." The dragon fought until they could fight no more. Both toppled at the same moment and lay. "If mine wins, your kingdom belongs to me." Long necks overlapping, their fire out, the blazing colors had faded to grey. Then people ran from their houses. They brought milk and pine cones, gooseberries and hot water. They bought herbs and honey to spread on the wounds and stroke the big heads. They plucked thorns out of soft dragon armpits. He was so beautiful. He was our dragon. She was so brave. She was ours. A long tongue slithered out between the she-dragon's lip and licked the nearby snout. The he-dragon opened his grey eyes. A strangely dragonish voice murmured, "We have done what we came to do. Now they understand." The two kingdoms of Arbor and Pomosa stand shoulder to shoulder. There is a line somewhere parting the two countries, but it is hard to see. The baby dragon's tails carved it out as they play, and their parents lie back to back, feeling each other's warmth. There are no kings now. Somehow no one could remember what kings were for, and sent their ways to find out. And since everyone needs bread and wood, birdsong and honey, apples and milk, the people freely come and go, and to and fro every other day or so. But on Dragon Day, they do nothing but dance. Oh, what a lovely story of peace, guys. And that's what they came together. Together! Both countries and the people coming together. And guess what? This is what happens when peace prevails. They're dancing.